Now that she's had her shot against him and she's severely damaged him with that New York Times piece and this complaint, which she managed to get leaked, now she wants a complete gag order. Now he needs to be shut down to protect her. This is very unfair to poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did. I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
Welcome back to Spills the Tea, where we serve piping hot celebrity drama by the gallon. And oh my, do I have a wonderful scandalous brew for you today. Let's just say the peach fuzz is about to peel off one of Hollywood's glitziest peaches, Blake Lively. Yep, the same celebrity that virtually smashed the internet with her hair goals and picture-perfect outfit. But clearly, Miss Perfection might have a few dings in that halo. And trust me, this one's a juicy one. We're diving into the shock, heard round Tinseltown, courtesy of none other than Megyn Kelly. But don't anticipate any of the normal snark from her this time. No, honey, this time she's not simply tiptoeing around the matter. Megyn's rolled in with a lawyer at her side, and she's ready to unleash a bombshell that's going to send shockwaves through the industry. And when I say bombshell, I mean undeniable receipts that may blow a crater-sized hole in Blake's carefully maintained public persona. From text messages to calls, insider information, and who knows what more, Kelly is practically telling the world, hold my latte while I drop this bomb. And let me tell you, she's not holding back. The crux of her revelation? Blake's emotional meltdown might not simply be ordinary outburst or lousy day. Oh no, it might be a strategic move, one that's been engineered from day one. And get this, she's supposedly been arranging the scene to lay the responsibility solely on her co-star and director, Justin Baldoni. Could it be that Blake's carefully manufactured image is crumbling? Stay tuned, because this drama's just getting started. And trust me, it's about to get even juicier.
You're going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megyn. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Oh boy.
A move that's suddenly looking a lot more like a smart trap than merely a bereaved star's desperate plea for justice. If you're fresh to this continuing disaster, let me break it down for you in the simplest way feasible. Blake has publicly accused Justin of sexual harassment, and just when you think it couldn't get any worse, there's also a side of aggressive, targeted smear marketing aimed at ruining Justin's name. But wait up, Justin isn't exactly taking all of this lying down. He fired back with his own lawsuit, and this is where things take a strange turn. In his claim, he alleges that, believe it or not, Blake's the one actually spreading all the defamation and false charges. It's a standard instance of he said, she said, only this time, both sides are supplied with receipts. And let me tell you, when Hollywood whips out receipts to back up their charges, you know things are about to get really sticky. Each relocation, each legal filing simply seems to muddle things further. The drama is building, and it's fairly apparent that this isn't just about accusations anymore. It's turned into a full-blown court war, one that's not keeping anything back. With some huge dirt being thrown about and no evidence of either side backing down, this story is going to explode into something even bigger.
She was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film, even if she's the lead, and that she's now tried to turn this whole thing into a PR victory for her to get past what appears to be the fact that she is an egotistical bull.
Another.
If you should
I can hear it on you today.
I'm probably getting the same fan on you. Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Now, even you've got Megyn Kelly rushing in, almost as if she's ready to moderate the ultimate conversation. She's assuring us that none of this drama or controversy happened overnight. Allegedly, Blake's squeaky clean image, the one everyone believed in, had already started revealing some scuffs long before Justin even entered the scene. It seems that Blake, despite her pristine exterior, might have already been dealing with her own obstacles, confronting problems behind the scenes that no one knew about. According to sources, she apparently triggered her own PR disaster long before things got to this degree and tried to climb on a bandwagon, utilizing the media's desire for controversy to deflect from her own questionable actions. This all apparently happened when she needed a getaway from the growing pressure that had been accumulating for a long. The media, eager for new drama, soon latched onto the story and the blame turned, with Blake laying all the pressure on Justin when she sought a way out of the mess she had caused. As the chaos continued to develop, Blake's actions took on a life of their own, and the media frenzy only kept increasing, making it impossible for anybody to distinguish what was real and what wasn't.
This often happens when these stars drop a movie. People start digging around for other interviews of them, etc. And it was just sort of a course of, wow, like, she seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
Add that to the current allegations of behind-the-scenes intimidation techniques, and we might just be looking at a premeditated dethroning of Mr. Baldoni from his own movie. If the possibility of Blake turning on Justin wasn't enough, rumor has it she pulled in her besties Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds for moral support, and maybe a little more than moral support. Whispers around Hollywood claim that Blake may have leveraged their tremendous star power to coerce producers, requiring them to accept her requests or else suffer the repercussions. Taylor and Ryan's involvement seems to have put an added layer of pressure on the powers that be, making it plain that any resistance to Blake's plans would not be handled lightly. With this three functioning behind the scenes, the antagonism between Blake and Justin may have increased to an unacceptable point, signifying a fundamental shift in power dynamics on set. All eyes are on the next move from this tough bunch.
Never watched Game of Thrones, but when you get around to watching it, you'll realize I'm Khaleesi and these are my dragons. And I have the best dragons in the business, right? Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. And what they're alleging is that, let's face it, none of us has ever heard of Justin Baldoni before this whole thing. I mean, who the hell is he? I guess he's in some small thing I never saw, but she's saying, F with me and we'll crush you. My dragons and I, the biggest movie star, one of them in the planet, the biggest pop star in the planet, and I will hurt you.
And let's be real. Taylor Swift is a pop colossus, a musical monster whose audience can nearly crush the internet with just a single tweet. Whether it's a new album release or a cryptic social media message, Swift's every action becomes an event in itself. On the other hand, Ryan Reynolds is a comedy god in cinema circles, a Hollywood favorite adored by major studios, and his charm never fails to enchant viewers. Now, if Blake Lively is hiring these power people in what feels like some sort of cosmic chess battle, that's a Hollywood catastrophe just waiting to happen. People are calling it an even larger fiasco than the day someone let James Corden try to pull off a live musical in traffic. If you get my drift, this circumstance is one for the books. One of the juiciest aspects in this whole affair is the reported connection to Amber Heard's incident, where she notoriously sought to paint herself as the ultimate victim, only for the narrative to abruptly change after all the information came out. Now, did Blake Lively learn a thing or two from the Amber Heard fiasco? Could she be trying to manipulate the media in a similar style? That's exactly what Megyn Kelly seems to be hinting at in her latest words, putting extra gasoline to the fires.
They literally were removing text in between text and emojis to sort of make it sound worse.
The alleged fat shaming that Ryan Reynolds went off on him over, that's all over her lawsuit that he's been excoriated for in the press, the left-wing press, was when he went to it was either his trainer or her trainer or the trainer on the set. And he asked how much Blake weighs. And that it was like, how dare he, right? How dare. Turns out Justin Baldoni, this has been documented, has serious disc issues and was actually in the hospital for like 2 months after this film wrapped because of his disc issues and was worried because he had to pick her up in a scene.
The New York Times piece that slammed Justin was so suspiciously timed and masterfully organized, it mirrors the infamous Heard son incident from years ago. We all remember how that ended. Amber's carefully prepared version of events eventually collapsed, leading to a massive public outrage. So if Blake is genuinely stealing ideas from that issue, she might be walking directly into a PR blender with no way out. Because, as we all know, public sympathy can flip on a dime, sometimes as soon as the snap of a screenshot. No pun intended. If you believed the regular he said, she said pattern would be adequate to keep things balanced, think again. Newly leaked behind-the-scenes clips, emails, and text messages have utterly undermined some of Blake's statements. She's been insistent that Justin harassed her with contrived private moments, mocked her weight, and barged into her personal space uninvited. But these stolen conversations paint a very different picture, one that can potentially turn the tide in favor of Justin's side. What she said were harmless times may now appear in a different light, and the situation is becoming more problematic by the hour. It's becoming difficult for Blake to cling to her narrative when the evidence is piling up against her, and fans and the public are beginning to reassess everything they thought they knew about this drama. Then these receipts show up, signaling whoops, she invited him to her trailer when she was busy pumping. Another bombshell, the terrible image a producer gave her was not some indecent or X-rated flick as reported, but rather an artistic childbirth photo intended as a reference. You can see the pattern now. For every remark Blake makes, Justin's team offers receipts that contradict her, leaving supporters to ask, who's fudging the narrative here? Let's not forget the whole fat-shaming fiasco. Blake claims that Justin insulted her postpartum physique by inquiring how much she weighed, creating fury among her fans. However, the receipts tell a different story. Justin apparently has a recurrent back issue, and he needed to know if lifting her during a scene would be physically viable for him. Was that a harsh comment, or was it just a question of logistics? The scenario deteriorated, and Blake's fury apparently led to a fight with Ryan Reynolds. Word is, Ryan summoned Justin to the penthouse for a harsh reprimand. Now that's what I call a dramatic power move. But again, the question swirls, did Justin genuinely do something hurtful, or is Blake manipulating the scenario to make herself seem like the victim? Blake's lawsuit also claims that there was no intimacy coordinator on set, resulting to unplanned, unscripted moments of closeness between her and Justin. Yet, we've heard in several interviews that Blake publicly emphasizes the existence of an intimacy coordinator on set. So which is it, girl? Because it can't be both. This discrepancy merely raises suspicion. It appears like she could be modifying her story to match whatever point she's pushing at the moment. Now, with all this proof from Justin's camp that's destroying her reputation, what does Blake do? She approaches the court for a gag order, attempting to silence Justin's legal team. As each new leak emerges, they merely make her case look worse. At this point, trying to mute the other side feels like desperation. If what she said were totally valid, wouldn't she want the video footage out there to exonerate her? The disparity in her conduct is clear, and fans are starting to notice. So, is Blake done for? Is her entire meltdown a perfectly calculated ploy from the start? Did she arrange a takedown of Justin to steal his idea, overshadow him at the premiere, edit important scenes with Ryan's comedic flair, and then scream foul as popular compassion started slipping away? Or did Justin control the story to represent her as a clever mastermind? We can't fully judge yet, but it obviously seems like the tide is changing in Justin's favor. Even someone like Megyn Kelly is now publicly naming Blake a liar. Her meltdown might be front and center for the entire world to witness, and that doesn't bode well for her. So where do you stand, my scandal-loving sweet peas? Do you think Blake's collapse is the product of her own orchestrations, or is she just a bewildered actress caught up in Hollywood's cruel gossip mill? We want to hear your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all the sizzling hot exclusives we'll be delivering you. Until next time, stay messy, stay blessed, and keep that teacup close because you know we'll be back with more sizzling tea the second we get it. Adios, lovelies!